everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Marzi and this is the Astrowix YouTube channel. I'm coming to you with some March insights, pick a pile readings. So I have 3 piles to choose from. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll have already picked your piles and seen my picture that I posted with the piles. If not, I'm going to pan over to those in a few seconds. I just wanted to first and foremost say happy March to everybody. I know we're in the midst of a retrograde, so it's a little bit of chaos right now. I know that retrograde's been hitting me hard. So we're almost done with it, and we're almost through Pisces season. We're almost to Aries season, which is really exciting. A fresh start, a new zodiac season. So thought, what better way to celebrate the month of March than with a 3-pile reading. You can pick whichever pile resonates with you, or multiple piles if they resonate with you, or you can watch all 3, whatever you'd like to do. It's completely up to you. I just like to throw a little disclaimer out there that I kind of just tell it as it is with the cards. I know a lot of times people don't do that and they kind of try to sugarcoat. I do my best to be gentle, but I also, if the cards are saying something, I'm gonna say it. And so I just like to throw that out there. If you're afraid of hearing something and you have a feeling it's coming, then maybe this isn't the video for you, because I'm not just gonna pretend everything's hunky-dory when it's not, I guess. I don't know. With that, I am going to pan to each of the different decks with the different stones, and you can pick whichever one resonates with you. I'm going to put timestamps in the description if you want to skip to that, if you've already chosen. If you also just want to go to my Instagram or Facebook at Astrowix, you can go ahead and look there and just skip right to whatever you want to do. Because, you know, it's your time, it's your life. But anyways, I'm gonna pan to the cards now. All right, so here we have the 3 piles. Starting from the left, we have the turquoise, the middle, the quartz, and on the right, the black tourmaline. So if you want to take a minute to pick your pile, whichever one resonates most with you, take that second, and I will go ahead and get to the readings. All right, awesome. Hello, pile number 1. If you picked the turquoise, then this is your reading. I am going to just kind of explain what each pile has in it, and then I'm just going to get right into the reading. So I have 4 tarot cards here, 3 fairy oracle, a Mystic Sisters Goddess deck card, and a super attractor positive affirmation card. So I'm going to start with tarot and then kind of go from there. Again, this is the turquoise, so if you pick turquoise, this is your reading. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So let's see what tarot has to say for your month of March. So we're starting off with Knight of Cups, followed by Ace of Cups. Ooh, another cup. 7 of Cups. And Page of Swords. So there's a lot of cup energy for you this month. So turquoise, pile number 1, turquoise. I'm just gonna probably interchange with each of those, but you know, whatever. Okay, you have a lot of cup energy here. That's really exciting. That's really beautiful, creative love energy. So this might have to do with the romance department. We're starting out with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups, so it looks like you may have something new brewing, whether it's a new relationship, whether it's a new creative endeavor. You might, if I'm looking down, I'm looking at the cards. With this 7 of Cups here, it looks like there's a lot of choice that you have to make. So it looks like you're really torn between making a choice, and it's either going to be something new or something stagnant. And I feel like you're kind of been in this almost stagnant energy right now, but you're kind of in this decision-making mode, and I'm seeing that a lot with the 7 of Cups here. There's a lot of choices that you have to make in order for you to move forward, and you're on the brink of this new discovery, and I'm really seeing that with the Ace of Cups here. And especially with the Knight of Cups and the Page of Swords here, you have a lot of forward-moving energy as well. So I really only see the most detriment is you're not quite being held back, but you're being really controlled by this choice. And it's not so much hindering you, but it's making your decision a little harder. And I think that's where Page of Swords may be coming in here, because with the Page of Swords, he I see pages a lot like aces, but with the sense with the pages, they took that sword for this instance. They took the sword and they ran with it. So it's like you have this ace of cups and this page of swords. So in order to move forward with this cup, you have to like be clear with your communication. You need to figure out exactly what you want and how you're going to get it, and you're going to make that forward movement. And I really see that with this page of swords here. With the Knight of Cups, I really see that as you falling into place with your creative energy, or your, it might be romance, it might not. I'm either seeing it as a creative endeavor or a romantic endeavor, because that's really what cups represent here. And there's a lot of cups here, so it might be something involving love and forward movement. And I see a lot of forward movement here just because of that page of swords and Knight of Cups. So with that, I think you're kind of stuck in this decision, and like during retrograde, decisions aren't really that fun to make because you never know what's going to happen, and that's what the Seven of Cups really represents in the end. But you have this Ace of Cups waiting. You have this cup waiting for you to take it, and it's like this knight has that Ace of Cups, and you want to get to this point where you're so self-fulfilled and you're just flowing and you're going with the flow, and you are not so much slow and steady, but you're just in that forward movement. You're really confident in your own energy, either romantically or creatively or however it may be, and you're ready to take that cup and move forward with it. And I think it's getting past what the fuck do I do, excuse my French. And I think making that decision is really gonna, you're gonna have to channel this page of swords energy in order to make that decision, and use your voice and not be afraid to use that voice. So I really see that decision making is going to be a big part of your month of March, and that's a good place to be, especially with retrograde ending and you have the rest of March to make decisions with a clear head and Mercury not muddling things up. I know there's the shadow period for a couple weeks, but like that's like where you're going to be really focusing on what do I do, what is next, and like you see this in the horizon, you're not sure how you're getting there. And I think that's a lot of where your questions lie, and you just have a lot of questions that you're trying to figure out and that you're trying to get answered, and they will get answered. It's just a matter of taking that initiative, and I really see that as that soul swords that came up in that reading. Let's see what the fairies have to say for any insight on that. All right, so new location, making new friends, and vacation. So it looks like there's a lot of vacation and new location. Kind of rhymes. Those kind of go hand in hand. So you might be doing some traveling, or you might be planning a trip, you might be planning on moving, you might be planning on the next step in your life and taking a little break in between that new job or new location or new relationship. Like new location emotionally is still a new location, and that's where I really see that. With making new friends, that also could signify new energy in your life. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of new energy in your life, and you're going to have this like grace period with vacation here, whether it's an actual vacation or just being able to sit with your decision making and being able to make that decision and sit with it and being like, I am allowed to take this time for myself. And that in itself is a vacation. Just being able to make decisions for yourself and being sound in them and taking the time to do that and not worrying about anything else, that in itself is a vacation alone. And I really see with new location and making new friends that there's this Ace of Cups, this new energy, and you really just have to trust in that, and you have to figure out how you're getting there. So I really see that as going back to the Page of Swords, using those communication skills, getting through your own analytical emotions and being like, what do I want to do? What do I do next? How do I get there? Because there's a lot of new energy here with that Ace of Cups, new location, making new friends. Take the vacation for yourself. Figure out what you want. See, the goddess we have is Urania. So I'm going to read that right out of the Mystic Sisters little booklet, because I'm not completely familiar on Urania or a lot of the goddesses that are in this deck, so I'm just going to read that and see how we connect there. So with Urania, keywords are philosophy, knowledge, and intelligence. Urania is the ancient Greek muse of astronomy. Her energy is directed towards endless expansion to the mind. She represents the authentic and dedicated student with the unquenchable thirst for knowledge. When we take this opportunity to expand our knowledge of any particular subject, an interconnectedness of all truth can be recognized. When drawn, Urania encourages you to travel in your mind, imagine other possibilities, and playfully philosophize about alternative reality maps. She encourages furthering education or using knowledge you've already obtained to its fullest potential. That's interesting because I feel like that goes hand in hand with the vacation card, because she's kind of expanding and using that new opportunity, and I really see that also as this Page of Swords as well. And with the new location, that goes hand in hand with the travel aspect of what she represents. So I really think channeling Urania is gonna be beneficial for that, and I think her message is to take that time for yourself to figure out what's next. Speak up for yourself, use your analytical mind, use your voice, figure everything out so you can get to where you want to be, and trust in the cosmos, trust in retrograde going back to normal. Well, not normal, you know what I mean. But there's a lot of new coming for you come April's after March, but there's a lot of new energy here in March, so be ready for that and prepare for it. And if you're not already preparing for it, I think for some people it may be that you're already in this space and you're already in preparation mode, and it's just kind of figuring out those details. So we're gonna finish off with the Super Attractor card, and this is what it is right here, and I'm just gonna read that to you. When I cultivate a spiritual connection, I can trust the universe no matter what. And yeah, I think that just goes full circle with trusting yourself, trusting in the universe, trusting in the cosmos, and knowing that new is welcome and accepted. And don't be afraid to use your voice. Don't be afraid to make choices. You have beautiful beacons of energy ahead of you, and it's a matter of if you're ready to take that and allow that change and allow that new energy in, because there's so much new and so much flow, especially with the new astrology season coming. It's no wonder. So I think you have a beautiful month of March ahead of you. I hope this resonated and connected. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or feedback or anything you'd like. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you like this reading. All right, happy March. Hello, pile number 2. If you picked the quartz crystal, then this is your reading. I'm just gonna kind of explain what the cards I chose were, and then kind of just get straight into the reading. So I started off with 5 tarot cards, 3 fairy oracle, a Mystic Sisters goddess card, and a Super Attractor positive affirmation. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Start with tarot. So let's see what we've got here. So starting off with death. All right. King of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. I can never fucking count. It's fine. Wheel of Fortune. Lots of majors here. And 4 of Wands. So starting off the month of March with death, which kind of goes hand in hand with Mercury retrograde sometimes. Death card is death and new beginnings, so there's a lot of endings here for you, but with endings that means that there's fresh starts, and that really goes in tune with Pisces season. Pisces is the last zodiac sign of the zodiac, because that makes sense. So we're ending a zodiac cycle and we're entering a new one. So that death card, you're probably closing in on a lot of chapters right now, and you're probably welcoming in that new energy by closing those chapters, which is a beautiful thing on its own. That means there's a lot of new energy coming here for you. With the King of Pentacles here and the Nine of Cups, King of Pentacles is very secure. So I feel like with this death card, you have a lot of security in what that ending was, and you know that it was right, and you know it felt right, and even though it may not have been easy, you made a hard decision for yourself to move forward and be in this really strong, stable energy. The King of Pentacles is very strong and stable, and he's kind of tough, and he's a little strict, and I feel like with the Death card, you really were firm in that and you are ready to move forward. And the King of Pentacles is also representing that. With the Nine of Cups here, I feel like that just also confirms that, because you're standing strong, you're standing proud, you are showing everything that you have despite an ending occurring. So you have this King of Pentacles energy, which means a lot of fulfillment too. You, in like both these cards have a lot of fulfillment, so there's a lot of beautiful energy there. With whatever ended, it was for a reason and had a purpose, and you know that, and you're feeling really fulfilled from that ending. Even if it doesn't quite feel like you're fulfilled, it's there inside, and you know that it was right. So despite that it may be a hard time, and it may have been a hard decision or a hard time, you are really feeling confident that it was the right thing to do. And moving forward is something that you're really excited about, because it means that there's new energy beckoning, and you're able to really bloom and grow because you let go of what the past was holding you back from. With the Wheel of Fortune here, such a trump card, it means that the wheels are turning again, especially with its Death card. Then we're following with Wheel of Fortune and Four of Wands. There's a lot of beauty beckoning, and I feel like there's going to be Aries season might be a little chaotic, as Aries are very chaotic. So I feel like there's just going to be a lot of shift and change, and you're really not going to know what direction is going next. But like, it's kind of an okay thing, because you let go of this past and it's no longer holding you back, and now you're free to do whatever you want, and you're really standing proud in that, and you're really standing true to that. And it's really just going to lead you to this Four of Wands, this really happy ending. This also oftentimes symbolizes a marriage of sorts. So it might be just, if it's not an actual marriage, because oftentimes it's not exactly what the card reads, but like, this is also a celebration card. This means a lot to celebrate. And with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like you're kind of just rolling with the punches, and you're going with the flow. And it's really just going to lead you to this place of peace and like celebration. And you're just going to be able to enjoy your life and relish in what you do have, because you're not looking back. And I don't see any looking back on regretting any decision that you've made or any change that's occurring. You're really, even if it doesn't quite feel like it, inside, deep inside, you're really okay with whatever this death was. Whatever this ending was, you know it was for the best, and you're really strong in that, and it's opening up the floodgates for you to feel this Four of Wands energy. Let's see what the fairies have to say to add to that. Look inside yourself, detoxification, and self-reliance. All right, so I think all these go hand in hand with what this reading entails. You've been looking inside yourself for those answers and that self-fulfillment, and especially with the self-reliance card here, I feel like the Death card is really representing a lot of shift and change, and really relying on the self and looking inside yourself for that, what is best for you. And I think you're finally allowing that, especially with this detoxification card. You're letting go of what doesn't serve you anymore, and you're allowing new energy in, and that's a really beautiful thing on its own. And it's something that you're going to be able to celebrate, even if it feels like you can't right now, even if it does feel like, did I make the right choice? Like, why is this all happening? Even if it was something that wasn't even in your hands, a choice that wasn't quite a choice, it was just kind of, well, this is the situation I'm in now, and I have to make the best of it, and this is over. But that doesn't mean life is over, and it means that there's opportunity for new and change, and so much better than what was. And I see that at the detoxification card. You're removing all those toxins from your life to enter in new energy. You're relying on the self rather than anybody else, rather than on a situation that was looming you over. And you're looking inside yourself for that self-reliance. And I think that's a beautiful thing on its own. And I really see a lot of fulfillment here again. Like, these two cards have so much fulfillment and self-reliance. So with the King of Pentacles and self-reliance here, I feel like you're just going to be sustaining yourself, and that's really such a beautiful thing. And you're going to be able to celebrate that. And the reading ends in this Four of Wands card, which is just, it's a beautiful card to have. That means that there's beauty and light and celebration in the horizon, even if it doesn't feel like there is right now. You have so much to celebrate within yourself. With that self-reliance card and the looking inside yourself, there's a lot to celebrate, and I think you're going to be celebrating yourself a lot within the month of March. The goddess we got was Mind Garden, so I'm going to read that right out of the little guide, just because it's easiest. Let's see. So Mind Garden, personal empowerment. Don't mind me spacing out. So Mind Garden's all about personal empowerment. The image of this card symbolizes how the mind is similar to a garden in that all thoughts are seeds. If the thoughts are beautiful and positive, the fruit produced will be nourishing and delightful. When dark and negative thoughts are allowed to dominate the mind, they can be likened to weeds crowding out your healthy thoughts, and they will produce foul fruit. Drawing this card reminds you to pay close attention to what seeds of thought you are planting and allowing to flourish in your mind garden. Recurring negative weed thoughts should be recognized and pulled out so they don't choke out on I can't read apparently. Recurring negative weed thoughts should be recognized and pulled so they do not choke out your benevolent thoughts that bear life-giving fruits. So I think that goes hand in hand with this reading perfectly. I think it's also a reminder to not let this ending loom over you, and to remind you that there is so much fulfillment and self-fulfillment within. And although it's hard to just be constantly positive, and that's not how life works ever, you have so much going for you, and there's so much to celebrate, and you have a lot of different ways it could go. And I think that also has to do with the Wheel of Fortune, because with endings, they're not always good. They can be very messy. And with that, like, you can be really happy about it, but at the same time, you can be like, why did this happen? Ask all the whys, and trying to figure things out where there might not be anything to figure out. You just kind of have to move forward because you don't have a choice. And letting those, like, thinking about the positive aspects rather than the negative aspects, because the negative aspect can kill you if you keep focusing on them. So I think that's just really a reminder to stay positive, know that what happened was for the best, moving forward is what's best for you, and to be strong in that. So the Super Attractor card right here is, I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. So yeah, I think that's a beautiful ending to that reading, and I think it's a reminder to stay positive and be within the self, because there's so much to look forward to, and this ending is opening up new doors for you, and you're gonna really end on this beautiful celebration. And you channel that Nine of Cups, because it's there and it's here for you, and you're here for yourself, and there's no one stronger than you. So I really see this as a beautiful reading about really being there for yourself, and that is where you're going to have your key to success. So that is your March Insights reading, and I hope it connected and I hope it resonated. Feel free to comment, give me any feedback you'd like, any comments, any recommendations, or just to say hey. Thank you so much for reading, and yeah, I hope it resonated, and happy March. Hello, pile number 3. If you picked the black tourmaline, then this is your card reading. I'm just going to kind of explain what the reading entails and get right into it. So I have 5 tarot cards here, 3 fairy oracle, a Mystic Sisters goddess card, and a Super Attractor positive affirmation. So yeah, I'm just going to get right into it, start with tarot, and I'm just going to start flowing. So let's go. All right, so we're starting off with the 8 of Swords. And then the 7 of Swords. And then the Queen of Swords. The swords here. King of Cups. And then the Sun. A beautiful ending to a very swordy card reading. All right, so it looks like right now you're really in this 8 of Swords energy. You may be feeling a lot of personal entrapment. And with that, there's a lot of inner turmoil, and there's a lot of anxiety, and you're really trapping yourself in a situation. And it's, I think, recognizing that, and especially with the Seven of Swords, and I feel like these kind of go hand in hand with how you're feeling right now. And I feel like it's a current beginning of March energy for you. You're really feeling self-entrapped, and you're feeling like everybody's kind of out to get you with the Seven of Swords. People are taking advantage, and people aren't being their authentic selves with you, and they're telling you lies, or you feel like they're lying, or you're just having issues with other people in communication. And like, of course you are, it's Mercury retrograde. So I think a lot of this is, it's making you feel really, really trapped, is what I'm getting from that. Especially with this Eight of Swords, you're not feeling so hot, and you know what, everyone goes through it. Everybody's going through it all the time. And I think it's recognizing that it's okay to step out of that cage, and knowing that not everybody's out to screw you over. Don't worry about these people in your lives. It may also be an illusion, because a lot of the Eight of Swords is illusion, because she's trapping herself in this cage, and it's like almost like a mind cage, and you need to set yourself free from this mind cage that you've put yourself in. Take that blindfold off. Realize that you're tied up and you're surrounded by swords, but it's really self-inflicted, and you can step out of that energy anytime you want. And the Seven of Swords could also represent that. That could represent you bringing all those swords around yourself and just trapping yourself in this situation, and your mind playing tricks on you. And I feel like this is a really reading. It's about the self, and like this very well could include other people as well. There could be people making you feel this way with that Seven of Swords energy, and that people are being sneaky, but it also could be a lot of paranoia, and especially with this Eight of Swords, because this is such a self-entrapment card. I really feel you're in control of this situation, and especially with what comes next with the Queen of Swords, that's stepping into your own power. She's like the baddest bitch of the tarot deck. She is strong in her opinions, she's strong in how she feels, she's strong in her emotions, and she's not afraid to speak of them. She's not afraid to slay. I see her as like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because like my favorite TV show, but she's just so strong in her own power, and she's not afraid of that power, and she's not afraid to speak her voice. She's not afraid to be heard. And I think you need to step out of this energy. And if anybody's making you feel this way, if it's not yourself, step into this Queen of Swords energy, because this is where you are going to be stepping into in the month of March. You're going to be stepping out of those swords and taking one of them and being like, no, I want to be heard. This is my voice. This is what I want to say. This is what I have to say. And you're going to listen. And I am going to be strong in myself. And I really see that as really being self-reliant and self-fulfilling with that. And really just stepping out of that mindset that everyone's out to get you, that people are screwing you over. Because if they are, you're in control of that. And that's the Queen of Swords right there. She's saying, nope, no one's taking advantage of me anymore. It's up to me to speak up for myself and be there for myself. And I think that's what the Queen of Swords is saying here, because following that is the King of Cups, where you're going to feel such emotional stability, and you're going to just be able to be like, wow, I stood up for myself, and now I can just flow. Everything's just flowing the way I want it to. And you're going to feel strong in that flow. And you're going to bear that cup and bear that sword, and you're going to really be strong in it. And I really see that as these two are what you're going to be stepping into right now. Especially with Pisces season ending and it going into Aries season. Because we end here with the sun. And fire, sun. But like, that's such a beautiful ending to this reading too, because I really feel like with these two King and Queen cards, you're really stepping into that power of being in tune with your emotions, being in tune with your voice, being in tune with being heard. And you're going to be stepping out of the self-entrapment, and you're going to be stepping into the sun, and you're going to just be able to be like, wow, I stood up for myself. I am so strong in myself. And you're going to be able to stand proud in that. And I see that with the King of Cups too. He is so emotionally in tune, and you're gonna feel so in tune with yourself once you use your voice and speak up for yourself, and you're gonna be able to bask in the sun. So let's see what the fairies have to say to add to that. Peace of mind, be honest with yourself, and magic of nature. So yeah, I think peace of mind here is stepping out of this entrapment, and I think you're going to get a lot of peace of mind once you step into this Queen of Swords energy, and it's just really a matter of ignoring all of this. And I feel like this card is kind of like a little throw in there, and it's a little like, what are you doing here? But I really feel like this goes hand in hand with the self-entrapment, because you're feeling like everyone's out to get you because you're out to get yourself. So you're like, well, if I'm in this space mentally, then of course everybody else is going to be out to get me too. And sometimes people are out to get you in one way or another, and it's just kind of ignoring those people and moving forward and not having that fear. And I really think, with be honest with yourself, you have to really delve within to get out of this headspace, because once you're honest with yourself and you're like, wow, not everything's as bad as it seems. I'm in control of my own life. I'm in control of my own journey. You're going to be able to step into that power, and you're going to be able to have that peace of mind. With magic of nature here, I really just think that is a reminder to step outside. The weather is starting to get better. So I think that's finding power within nature, being with yourself in nature, connecting with Mother Nature, and knowing that she's there for you, and that you are as powerful as the sun. The sun, magic of nature. The sun is part of nature. The sun is what keeps us going. And you're capable of feeling like the sun. Connect with the sun. Connect with nature. Know your power. Use that voice, because this is the key for you to getting to that sun space. It is really finding that self-confidence and self-respect, and not being afraid to be yourself. And it's going to lead you to this really strong emotionally stable space, and you're going to just be able to be in the sun. This is like the most positive card of the deck. That's such a beautiful place to be, and you're going to have that peace of mind. So with that, with the goddess we got is the Raven Goddess. So I am going to read that right out of the deck, just because I am not completely familiar with everybody in this deck. Let's see. Raven Goddess, messages, omens. The Raven's mythic status across many cultures is that of a shapeshifter and a mediator between the worlds of the living and the dead. They are messages from the beyond and bearers of an omen. To have a raven's knowledge indicates the ability to see beyond what is visible to the eye. The raven is one of the wisest of all the animals. Drawing this card increases your ability to pick up on cosmic symbols and whisperings. It is a subtle talent that develops over time through our direct experiences. Stay open-minded and try to observe details that are often overlooked and dismissed as irrelevant. And I really see that connecting with stepping out of this, man. I really do. I think use that Raven Goddess energy to get out of that headspace that is not so good, that's really trapping you within the self, because as soon as you step into your power, you're going to be able to really connect with those messages, and you're going to be able to move forward and step into the sun energy. So we're going to just finish off with the super attractor. This is the card, and it says, the universe is always conspiring to support me, guide me, and lead me compassionately towards the highest good. And I mean, that kind of like is a good completion to this reading, because you're starting off in this Eight of Swords energy and stepping into the sun energy. So you're stepping out of this really bad headspace into this beautiful, bright, I have everything that I need headspace. And I think that's really fulfilling, and I really think it's really beautiful that you're going to be doing a lot of work this month to get to this space of peace and tranquility, and you're not going to have all these anxious thoughts running through your head constantly. So I think Queen of Swords is the most important card of this reading, and I really think it's about stepping into your own power and being there for yourself. So I think this is a beautiful reading. I think you have a lot to look forward to in the month of March. There's so much light at the end of the tunnel. So with that, I leave you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this resonated. I'd love to hear any comments or recommendations or questions in the comments. Feel free to like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a beautiful month.